All right, if you're in crypto, if you're in DeFi, you need to pay attention. One of the single biggest breakthroughs is happening right now, and that's the rise of high-performance zkEVM technology. And look, this isn't just some minor update. We're talking about a huge milestone in the quest to build a decentralized future that's actually fast and scalable.
But before we get into the solution, let's talk about the problem. A problem I know you've felt. Why is it that after all this time and all this innovation, using DeFi so often feels like you're just stuck in digital traffic?
And it really all boils down to one thing, a fundamental bottleneck. Seriously, just picture trying to force an entire river through a tiny garden hose. It's just not going to work. And this isn't a small inconvenience. It's a massive structural problem that has been holding the entire DeFi ecosystem back.
Okay, let's dive into our first section, the scaling problem. You know, we've all been sold this incredible promise of DeFi, this new open financial system for everyone. But the reality, that amazing potential is constantly getting choked by congestion on Layer 1 networks. And that leads to a user experience that's, frankly, pretty awful.
And this isn't some abstract, theoretical problem, right? This hits you right in the wallet. We're talking about ridiculously high transaction fees that make small trades pointless, those agonizingly long waits for your transaction to confirm, and just general network slowdowns that make the whole system feel clunky and unreliable.
Now, to be fair, people have tried to fix this. Let's talk about that first attempt. The first generation of zkEVM showed up, and they were kind of like these heroes with really noble intentions. They promised the amazing security of zero-knowledge proofs, but yeah, they came with some pretty significant flaws.
So this put developers in a really tough spot. On one side, you had these early zkEVMs. They offered gold standard security, which is great, but they were slow and they weren't fully compatible with all the existing Ethereum tools. Then on the other side, you had optimistic rollups. They were faster, easier to migrate to, but they used a totally different security model. So the choice was security or speed. It was a terrible trade-off.
And the result of that tough choice was, well, it was predictable. The friction was just way too high. Developers, especially the ones building really complex and valuable DeFi protocols, they just weren't willing to make that leap. And that, in turn, really put the brakes on innovation for these new scaling solutions.
But now, that entire story is getting a rewrite. A whole new generation of zkEVM architecture is here. And we're not talking about a small, incremental improvement. No, this is a massive leap forward that completely changes the game.
And it's not just me saying this. As one source put it, this enhancement is not just incremental, it's transformative. I love that word, transformative, because that's exactly what it is. We're finally moving past that world of frustrating trade-offs. We're getting to a place where you can have it all: top-tier security, full compatibility, and incredible speed. Okay, so how did they do it? What's the secret behind this massive performance boost? Well, it all comes down to a really clever innovation, something that totally rethinks how to get things done efficiently. Let's get into the secret sauce. The big secret? It's something called native precompiles. The easiest way to think about this is to imagine the standard EVM as a Swiss Army knife. It's great, it can do a whole bunch of different things, but it's not the absolute best tool for any one job. Precompiles, on the other hand, are like specialized power tools. They are designed to do one specific complex job with insane speed and efficiency. So let me break down how this actually works, because it's pretty clever. Let's say you want to do a token swap. Instead of running that request through all the slow, generic code, the system is smart. It completely bypasses that and calls a super optimized, tailor-made precompile to do the job. The end result? You get the exact same outcome, but it happens in a flash, and it costs way, way less. It's basically a genius shortcut. Okay, so it's faster. Big deal, right? Well, it is a huge deal. And the real story here is the incredible ripple effect this has on literally everyone, from you, the user just trying to make a trade, to the developers building the next wave of DeFi apps. Let's just take a second and remember the world we've been stuck in. A world of painful gas fees, watching the clock tick while you wait for your transaction to finalize, developers pulling their hair out trying to scale, and a ceiling on what's even possible because of performance limits. That's the old world. And now, this is the new world that's opening up. We're talking fees that are dramatically lower, transactions that feel almost instant. And for developers, they can deploy their existing code seamlessly. This is huge because it could unlock billions of dollars in liquidity that's just been sitting on the sidelines. And maybe most importantly, this is the kind of performance that finally attracts the big institutional players, the ones who bring the capital and stability for true mainstream adoption.
And this is really important. The impact goes way beyond just DeFi.
These kinds of efficiency gains lay the groundwork for innovation everywhere. Just think about blockchain gaming. It's a massive industry that's been hamstrung by lag and high fees. With this tech, you can suddenly have complex games with millions of in-game items being traded instantly. It opens up a whole new universe for developers and players.
So, we're on the edge of a new frontier, and it's opening up a ton of possibilities. If you're looking at this space, whether you're an investor or a builder, this changes everything. How do you even begin to navigate this new landscape and spot the real opportunities?
When you're looking at these new platforms, don't just listen to the hype. You got to look at the data. And there are 3 key metrics to keep your eyes on. First, transaction throughput. What's the raw speed? Second, gas cost reduction. How much money are people actually saving? And third, maybe the most important signal of all, developer adoption. Are the smartest teams in the space choosing to build here? Because where the developers go, innovation follows.
But, and this is a big but, a word of caution here, just because the technology is promising doesn't mean every project using it will be a winner. You have to do your homework. I mean, really dig in. Look at the team, read the security audits, and see if there's a real vibrant community building around it. Due diligence is absolutely essential.
So when you zoom out and look at the road ahead, it's pretty clear what's happening. This new generation of zkEVM isn't just another upgrade, it's a fundamental paradigm shift. This technology is becoming the cornerstone for the future of DeFi, a future that is scalable, secure, and actually friendly for everyday users.
This leaves us with one final, really powerful thought. We are literally watching the entire world of decentralized finance get rebuilt from the ground up, all for speed and scale. So, once that's done, what industry is next?